Hello, everyone. You are welcome to another edition of News Trend. And I don't need to tell you, you know how we do it. We give you trendy news in and around the country and even outside the country. And today is not going to be an exception. In fact, today is quite interesting. But before we go on, let me introduce my guest and co-host, Mr. Dotun Oladeko. You're welcome on the show, sir.
Thank you so much for having me again on the show.
Yes, thank you for always obliging. So, like I said, we have something very interesting for you today. If you have been on social media lately, you would have been following the story, the paternity saga between David Adeleke, our Davido, Afrobeat star, and a certain young woman called Anu. In a post she made, she asked for a DNA test because she claimed that she's an Adeleke. And there's been a lot of back and forth, and Davido saying, oh, they've had several DNA tests and it's negative. And the mother, who's Labinjos, she also came, making several posts. All of them have been doing a back and forth. I've done paternity test 5 times, 3 times where he brought the doctor and 2 times where they brought the doctor, and it was still the same thing. But they are still insisting that they want another paternity test and insisting that the young woman is an Adeleke. And just recently, a few days ago, Dr. Adeleke, the father of David Adeleke himself, said a lot of things. He came to brief the media. He intervened in the matter, and he told us the story of the genesis of this 2014, how he got to know, how he got a mail by DHL, how he has been funding the education of the child and even the mother, who is Labinjos, despite knowing that the DNA, the child is not an Adeleke, because he said that he brought them to Lagos to do a DNA test, and the DNA test showed that it was negative. A lot of story, and we are going to be talking about that today, and lessons to learn, and a lot about the story. Sir, what is your own take? Where are you coming in the story?
As many of our viewers would have known, I was at that press briefing.
Yes.
Addressed by Dr. Davido Adeleke. Now, the first thing that is shocking is that I've known the Adelekes since 1989.
Wow.
Not on a personal level, but as a journalist. And I will say this is the first time that Dr. Davido Adeleke will speak to the press.
Speak to the press, yes.
And he did not just speak, he spoke for about 3 hours, putting things in perspective and providing documents to back up all he has said. One thing that I must tell you that rang through that briefing, and which a lot of viewers also saw, whether it was the live version that they saw or it was the now edited and relayed version. Dr. Davido Adeleke spoke from his heart. It was not a conversation based on anything written down. There is a way you talk to people. You've written something down. You just say, I want to tell you this, I want to tell you that, and it's all off. Before we go into it, the other side is this. Even the documents that Dr. Kemi Olunloyo provided to the public as the outcome of the DNA result of Davido and Anu Labinjos, which she claimed backed the fact that Davido is the father of Anu, was the same that was presented by Dr. Davido Adeleke. And that same document where it's now demanded, where the doctor now spoke about the cocoa of the matter, which is, what did you find? Which was conveniently edited out of some of those things that were posted online, said the likelihood of Davido Adeleke being the father of that child is 0.00%.
Yeah.
And the likelihood of him not being the father happens to be 99.99%. All the DNA tests, including the one that was said to have been carried out at the hospital or the clinic where the Labinjos family themselves chose, which was in Lupeju. 2 tests were conducted at Victoria Island. 1 at Lupeju, which the family chose. All of them came out the same way.
Negative.
Maybe that's my first comment on it, except you want me to go ahead.
Go ahead.
So, now, what are the issues? What were the things that were? Because for some of our viewers who may not know the background to this whole thing, I want to give you the perspective from which Dr. Adeleke approached the issue. Now, like you said, he told the media that the first time he got to know about a child in Ibadan was in 2013, when he got a mail through one of the mail companies in Nigeria. Now, what did that mail contain? The mail said they want him to step in by accepting Anu as an Adeleke. Inside that same mail was a letter that was said to have been signed by the grandmother of Anu Olua, which said, we don't want you to even accept the mom as Davido's wife, but accept this daughter and this girl as a member of the Adeleke family and take up responsibilities on her. But like the man said when he briefed us, he said, see, he doesn't have a problem raising that child as an Adeleke. But it must be proven that this child is truly an Adeleke. Are you people willing? Because there was a phone number attached to that letter, and he called the grandmother of Anu to come to Lagos. Let's do a DNA test. So he sent his driver, they brought the young lady, the mother, and the grandmother to Lagos. And they carried out the test, which was sent outside the country because we don't have the facilities to conduct that test. And he told them, you people can stay on in Lagos. Choose another hospital. Let's carry out the same test. And all the rest, and all the rest. They said no. So they went back. When the test result arrived, they came back. In their presence, at that point, according to Dr. Adeleke, Davido had traveled out of the country again. So they opened the results and it was negative as Davido, for Davido as the father. And then The grandmother said it's a no. That when Davido came into the hospital that day, she saw him give them a huge sum of money to alter the result. The man now said, okay, we can have another one. You people let them take you to the hotel. Then the following day we can repeat anywhere of your choice. But he said the next thing he had was his driver called him in the evening and said he was already in the van because the woman flared up that she wanted to return home. Again, in that envelope that was brought to Dr. Adeleke, contained in it was a birth certificate. 2014, we are now talking about. The birth certificate read Anu Adeleke as daughter. That certificate read as mother Ayotomide Adeleke.
So married.
And father David Adeleke, despite the fact that he was not yet married. And that was even the first contact they were having with them. So you had already named that child an Adeleke. The mother had become an Adeleke. All these are things that ordinarily would build suspicion. Why did you not show up? You were pregnant, you didn't show up. Nobody knew you were pregnant. No, these were things that came up during the chat. And then at some point also, after all the I don't want to do another DNA, they agreed. We were told that the lawyer, maybe it was the same lawyer who wrote, was already with them. And then they had a DNA in the hospital where they had the first one, and then went to Ilukweju for the second one, which was the hospital that they chose. Results came back. It was the same again. There was nothing that was different. So, what did the woman say again? That they bribed both the hospital at Victoria Island and the one in Ilukweju. So, everywhere. Of course, they have a lot of money. That's the claim. So, Dr. Adeleke said the next thing after a lull was that the Oni of Ife called him. Ditsimi Ofede, that's his hometown now, the monarch of the hometown, called him and said the woman had been there to see them, to prevail on him to accept it. And he said he told them the same thing. And he made a point. He said, I have 14 grandchildren. What will it cost me to add another one? Sorry.
Thank you.
My host. So what will it cost me to have another one? To add? And like he also said, he said, these are the children who keep me company now. Since my wife died, I live alone in this big house. So the children come, those who are in Nigeria, they come in every weekend. So adding one to them won't change anything for him. That's number one. Number two, adding a brilliant girl like Anu, because she was said to be brilliant, to the already brilliant grandchildren that were, is a plus for him. And then for him, sending a child to school isn't a problem because part-time on his scholarship, there are 3,000 students.
Wow.
Once one moves out, they add. Once one moves out, they add. 3,000. So what is one at that level to him? And those are points that weigh in his favor, no matter how you look at it. And at that point, he started paying the girl's school fees. Until Kemi Olunloyo stepped in. According to her, which she also confirmed, she went and opened an Instagram page for the underage girl. And every time they write, make it look like it's the girl that is writing. I mean, that on its own doesn't really make sense to me. If you ask me, yes, it's good to fight the cause of the not too privileged. But at the same time, we must weigh the things that we want to throw out. So it's easy for the Adelekes to say there must be something more that she wants to achieve. So what is it? Why? The story went on and on. The man started taking care of the young lady,
And the mother.
And then by extension, the mother, because he said at some point, what he said to Ayotomide's sister was, your sister is still young. The fact that she got pregnant and leave school does not mean she won't have a future. Let her go into Adeleke University, which is in Osun State. That there is a program there where they have students who are admitted, all fees, all other things taken care of, and they still pay them 50,000 per month as workers. So she joined. And according to him, for 2 years, she was one of the best in the English department. Until, according to him, the mom showed up in that school one day with her and said she was tired of taking care of her and all the rest, and that it's either they accept that child or her daughter returns home. And that was the end of school for her.
Wow.
She left. She was already in 200 level. Because there are so many questions to be asked in all of this drama. Someone has come out to say, we are ready. Let's go through DNA. According to Dr. Adeleke, they've done 5 DNAs.
Exactly. Five
So
cannot
5,
be wrong, no?
3 of it was Davido. Because those are this begins the first, what I'll call lesson. Because at some point, they said they were not even sure if it was, and that was the insinuation from Kemi Oluloyo, that maybe it was a threesome involving Ayotomide, Labinjos, David Adeleke, that we call Davido, or B-Red, Adebayo, David Adeleke, who is Davido's cousin.
Wow.
So they did 2 DNAs also for B-Red, who was with Davido in Ibadan. All the 5.
Negative.
Possibility of they being the father of that girl, nil. So we begin to get a picture that is not palatable for both the daughter, the young lady Anu, and the mother. And then one other thing now that he said, which is critical to his own argument. The day the mom came to the university and she left with her, the lady who was in charge of the program she was undergoing at Adeleke University, that's Ayotomide now, said, your mom is here now. There was a time you showed us something on your phone and you admitted that around the time that you claimed you slept with Davido, you also slept with this guy. Show your mom that photograph. And according to him, we didn't look at it because I don't know if he has it or not. That other man looks like the girl, or the girl looks like the man. The man. And she went further. That's how I told me now to say she has even gone to the guy, but the guy told her, don't come back to me. I am married. We had something in the past, but don't come and scatter my marriage. But the point is this. This guy should have been prevailed on to take that DNA test with an assurance that that child is not coming back to you.
To him, yes.
It's just to be sure, so that there is a closure for this young lady. There is a closure. So, now, Look at all the material facts, to use the court, to use the legal language pleaded by Dr. Adeleke, and you begin to see a pattern. We are not judges here, but we are trying to put certain things out. You begin to see a pattern of some people who want to force a child on a family because they are rich. That's the pattern it's creating.
Yeah.
But Kemi lawyer is saying, no, it is not. That this child belongs
To the Adelekes.
To the Adelekes. And Davido specifically, after they had tested his cousin, and both of them came out negative.
But another interesting thing is that girl, she actually looks like an Adeleke.
Well,
how do we explain that part? Because that part, when I look at it, she does look like an Adeleke.
For me, see, I'm not writing off anything. I'm not going to sit here and become a scientist. By mere look. I can't do that. I can't. Because what we are talking about is science. These people have said, let us go at the point when you came and do DNA. Wherever you want, let's go there. Please tell me, between 2014 and now, how many years? 12 years. You are now coming back to the same thing. These things, when it's becoming like, this is a real opportunity for us. If we get this, it's our pot of soup. People begin to question your motives. Why do you need to leave Ibadan and go to Ife to go and meet a king? Why do you need to leave Ibadan and go to Ede to go and meet a king when Lagos is closer? When you can tell them at that point, okay, we don't even trust all the clinics in Lagos. You have bribed them. Come to Ibadan. Because when you look at all the, I'm not a scientist, but you look at all the results and you take them, you look at them line by line, you see that all of them run the same way. If this is 50 years, it is 50 years. If it is 17 years, it is for all the tests that Davido undertook, both on the island and in Ilupeju. The one for B-Red too was done twice. It turned out the same way. So what else do you need to prove that she's not an Adeleke? I will say, because Dr. Adeleke is already angry.
As it should be.
Yeah. See, no matter how angry you are, that these people are already dragging you on social media where you don't play at all.
For context, it's actually not these people. It's Dr.
Oluloyo. Yes, but if they didn't allow her into their matter, it would have remained the way it should be. It's because they allowed her. For a while, people have known Dr. Oluloyo for who she is.
Yes. And she seems to have a vendetta against the...
I don't know what they have against themselves. But I'm talking from the perspective of somebody who has read the things she has written. One of the things she wrote, I was alarmed. She said, as a journalist, I don't know where she practiced. She has a right to talk about the children of other people. But other people don't have a right to talk about our own children.
Can you imagine?
And I begin to wonder, okay, as a journalist, they can't talk about yours, but you can talk about others. Those are not things that, I'm sorry, quote unquote, a reasonable person should be saying. If you decide to go all out and attack other people's children, and what caused that? Because at some point during all of this problem, our child came out to say, I'm disowning this woman. Because at that point, she was taking on too many people. And people were wondering, is it blackmail? Is it journalism? What? And now you are saying that because Dr. Adeleke mentioned that fact of your child disowning you, he has gone off limits. You can't do that. You mentioned different children in your fights against Davido, including the challenged ones. You mentioned them. Nobody spoke. The moment they mentioned that your child disowned you, you are saying he has gone off limits. That is sounding like there is something wrong somewhere that we can't really place our hands on. It's not, it doesn't sound too good to me. And like I said earlier, the documents she presented to say Davido is guilty, is the father of this child, are the same documents we are all looking at, which is saying where the judgment was passed at the bottom. Probability of being the father. It's new. So where did we get to the point where those who are not schooled really in the practice of journalism? I'm not saying somebody can't go to a journalism school.
Someone that says she be practicing for, she got this award, she got that award.
Yes, I'm just saying to you that, you see, when we talk about journalism, it's all, most of it is database now. That is why journalists are encouraged, know how to use AI. So that if a picture comes to you, you can quickly go through AI, whether it is Grok or anywhere, check which day was this picture taken, who were those who were there. It could give you some form of location. You know, all of those things will come with the photograph. Those are database things that some of us who are old school, we are learning. So when you see all of this data and you cannot sit down and the only place you are pointing at is the blood specimen that was taken in terms of, okay, is this really one, which is 50-50? That's one you are telling people is 50-50 chance of him being different. And that's not what that line was saying in that DNA test. The bottom line is what you have at the bottom. Is it likely to be the father? It says no. It's an emphatic no. Same thing with B-Red. So when you get to that point, you ask yourself, what exactly do these people want? Because if we go through what has been said and which was acknowledged, Dr. Adeleke, up until when there was a problem and they started pulling him in different directions, was paying the fees of this girl and sending them some form of allowance. When he stopped paying, it was Ayotomide's sister that took over the payment. And she wrote the man when this young girl graduated. We saw the video. Bright, brilliant girl. She was even the head girl in the primary school. She said she has reached her limits in terms of what she can do for that girl with her education going forward. And Dr. Adeleke immediately said, we'll pay. And started sending money for the girls' fees. So that is why you see that at some point, this argument begins to look like, if these people can pay the school fees now, what will it cost them to continue paying and taking care of this girl? They're already paying. The lady went to Adeleke University. They were paying.
What more do you want?
So what more do you think that girl will need that the Adelekes can't provide? So perhaps what they are trying to do is, when we push the girl into the family, we'll also have access to that family and make demands. That's the thinking now in town. Because that's the thinking in town. Now, when you go through social media and you read comments, because for anybody, really, if I happen to be the one that was so challenged, like Kemi Olunloyo was challenged by Dr. Adeleke, I wouldn't have done any more thing. Because it's beginning to show that there is an agenda beyond pushing this girl on them. Or they taking responsibility for this girl. How will somebody provide all those things and you are still saying, no, Davido is still the father? Oh yeah. The only thing I can say to Dr. Adeleke is this. Seriously. If they want another test, let them go and do it where they want. If they want to fly to the place where they took the samples from Nigeria, at least maybe they will be surer that the white-skinned people won't take bribe from Davido. Let them go and do it. So that all of this will be clear. And we'll stop having this somebody opening an account for an underage girl and running it. And writing to Nigerians as if this is the Anu who is writing. That's wrong. It's impersonation in the first place. You have agreed, yes, you opened it. But that is wrong. If you want to challenge anything, challenge with your own page.
Exactly.
Challenge with your own page.
And I'm not even sure this is really about DNA, because 5 DNA results can be wrong now. So I'm sure
they said they bribed their way through.
Okay, so what's the assurance that they are not going to say they bribe if they still do another one? That they won't say that they bribed their way through.
That's why Dr. Adeleke is saying, now I am tired. Let me tell the world what happened. So, if he's tired and he wants to tell the world what happened, and he has told the world what happened, and you are not presenting any shred of new evidence, but you are still insisting that this thing happened, and that this was the way it happened, then there must be a problem somewhere, which you now need to come and tell us. Just like Dr. Adeleke did, the Labinjos and Dr. Olunloyo should be open what they want, beyond accepting a child that they say is not theirs. Is there any underlining factor? Is there what do you really want? Is it money? Is it fame? Is it the prestige? Or you just want to be Mrs. Adeleke at all costs, and you want Anu to be an Adeleke at all? Because we must understand it.
That's funny. Mrs. Adeleke from where? They didn't even have a relationship. So exactly. It's funny that you just take the name like
somebody
that.
called it was a one-night stand.
If it did happen,
it was just a one-night stand.
So
even like I said, even Dr. Olunloyo introduced the dimension that was shameful to it, that maybe it was a threesome. That's shameful because, like I told myself, they don't know the damage that they are doing to Ayotomide and Anu now. They don't know. Because one day, there is no sin in somebody who already has a child getting married now.
Of course.
One day this girl will need love, will need to, and then you start looking for your husband with all these damages you have done to yourself. So if we are going to ensure that things run well, these people should come out and say it the way it is.
Well, maybe they want to have
another DNA. Is it that? We are sorry, sir. We want our family to also be rich like your own or comfortable. Help us. Those are straightforward things. And if indeed there was something that happened and you believe so much that it happened, and science is saying it did not happen, then you need to use another means to prove it to us that it happened. And then Dr. Olunloyo too should now go and prevail on Ayotomide to say, this man that you admitted that you slept with, let us drag him to also come for a DNA. We don't want him to accept the child though. Just let's put a closure to this. My biggest worry in all of this is for that child. in a Nigeria where people are quick to call other people bastard, where they are quick to judge you and say, you don't even know your father, your mother. You know, why are we doing this to this girl? And this girl, unfortunately, has come of age. She has come of age. So she's about 12, 13 now. So why is she still in the public reading all of these things that you are writing about? It's a big shame. It's a real big shame.
People, as you have friends or people in our school, be laughing at her.
Exactly, they'll be doing so. Now imagine that kind of girl going to a boarding school.
Wow.
Imagine what they are going to do to her in that boarding school until when she becomes a senior herself. Imagine what she's with, even with her own mates. The way they bully, force people, call them names. It has just been ringing in my head what could be happening to that girl. And that's my own major concern. Because that girl has done nothing. It's just an adult who decided to be stupid by opening her legs without protection, without anything, when she shouldn't, when she should be in school reading. Sometimes you wonder, how did these children, how did this grandmother who is now claiming to be the policeman of the family, who is engaging everybody. Where was she when this girl was running riots? Sleeping around with men. If we go by the accounts that we have had from Dr. Lunloyo and from the Adelekes and from even our own phone conversation with the man she said she had something to do with. Because these are things that are already in the public now. Can she mention that guy? The court can order that guy to go for a DNA test. You don't need to go and meet him. The court they will file something in court and you will be compelled to undergo that DNA. Let's put a closure to it.
Make noise about it.
Exactly.
This is something they would have just done, quietly, and then we'll be sure that this father.
Even if it was the police she had gone to report to at that time, that I suspect it could be this man, they could have invited him to the station. They could have compelled him by obtaining a court order to undergo that DNA. But instead of doing that, you are in the public space destroying the image of this young girl. And the mother does not know, because I still saw something. They said she wrote, saying, no, it is that she has destroyed herself completely. And the icing on the cake for the destruction, seriously, was that expose by Dr. Davido Adeleke. Because he laid it bare. Like I said, when, in our own part of the country, they will say the chicken is sweating. It is the feather. When I saw Dr. Adeleke speak that day, I said, no, this must be a serious pain for him. Somebody who doesn't talk, he just wants to do his business and leave his brothers who are already in the media space to do all the talking, leave Davido to do his own talking. So how do we do that? How do we comprehend that? That somebody is still coming back to talk. Somebody who should have kept her legs closed, who opened it so wide and brought forth a child. And you still cannot, going by the DNA, prove that this is the father of your child. And there is still a doubt based on what you told them, that there is a man who also slept with you around that same time. And you are not sure. For me, I think she should be ashamed and cover it. Cover it. Let Dr. Lawyer to also tell us what really.
It's a game plan.
It's a game plan.
I think she just likes drama.
Well, even if she likes drama, it is not like making people, toying with the emotions of people, toying with their image. That's why when some people, we always say that, for me also, the cybercrime law in this country enacted in 2015 isn't good for our society. Seriously. Because it can be used anyhow. But it's because of things like this that they came up with this law. You know, we've read of senators who are maligned. At the end of the day, proving, then the person will come and beg. You put out videos and say, this senator is having sex in his office. Whereas, that's not the man. So many like that. And the lawmakers got angry and said, it is time we dealt with this thing. And this thing came up. Unfortunately, it is now being used the wrong way against real practicing journalists. If this is applied, we are likely to shout again. Because I would have reported this case to the police. And you know the police will take action. So, but for me, we need to put this to bed quickly. If the mother has lost every shred of shame, they should pity this young woman. I know Labinjos. Because I wouldn't know how to call her an Adeleke.
She's not an Adeleke. Well, we don't know.
No, even if you had a child for somebody you are not married to, you can't just go and name that child by his name. The man says, I don't even know you.
That's the interesting part. Davido says he has never even met her.
I have not even met you. I've not seen you.
So how?
His cousins too says, I have not met you. We have not met you. We don't know who you are. You know?
It's really...
So, and I don't know her. Maybe if I had seen our photographs in different places, perhaps I would have been able to say, oh, okay, she's very pretty, she's very beautiful. I would have been able to say so. But now I can't say so of her now. I can't, seriously. I can't say so. Because I can try to imagine how beautiful she must have been at that age. She had that child for two brothers to be rushing her to come out to sleep with her. And these are not, you know, sometimes we wonder, these are not street guys or your everyday kind of guys. They are guys who can say, get her for me.
And you
get this for me.
You go willingly.
Willingly. So why will it get to the point where, and even you want to sleep with somebody, you don't have the person's contact. You only know he's a star, according to you. Because a lot of girls do that too.
Of course. Just for the
you know, some people will now come back after all the so-called flings and be complaining. These men, they are madmen. There is no good man in town. It's you that made yourself so cheap for the men to ride on you and move on. Because nobody wants cheap girls. Everybody runs away. They just use them for the moment. So how did you get into that position? And when you look at this name, the Labinjos family that I know, they are respectable families. All of them that I seem to know around. So how did you get into this? To the point you are pregnant, even you are not too sure it could be. But now you are saying, no, it's this one. I'm now sure now. After 5 DNAs.
Interesting.
Like I've said, for the sake of Anu,
patients.
They should please put this to rest. Don't let this girl grow up feeling confused, like a nobody.
Yes.
Don't let her grow up being mocked everywhere. And like I also pleaded to the Adelekes, yes, I know you should be hurt by now. You should be feeling very bad about what has happened. But if another DNA
is what will put it to rest.
We'll put this to rest, please, for the sake of the child. Let's do it. And I will also plead with them, even if the Labinjos family, they don't want to, let this case be taken to the police. Let Ayotom, they reveal the identity of this guy involved, and let the police take action by summoning this guy. They say he works in a bank, so he's not an innocuous person. He's not somebody who cannot, you say you can't find him. He lives somewhere. Even if you don't know where he lives now, you know the bank where he works. Even if he has left that bank, the bank will be able to provide you certain details that can lead you to him. What I know about the police is this. If they want that guy in 24 hours, they'll find him. And if the guy also respects himself, he should just come out. Help us to
save. Better for him.
us from this controversy.
Yes.
So that even if you are not the father, we already know we need to look for another father. That's the meaning. And even if you are the father, explain it to your wife. Before I married you, I had something with this young woman.
If it's even before he got married, then why should it be a problem anyway? At least you should be able to explain that.
But that's my own thinking. That's my own thinking, that maybe it was before he got married. It's possible it was when he got married. If there is an error, explain it to your wife. So that you save this girl, this trauma. Explain it to her. You don't need to take the child in. You may need to provide some support. And you don't even need to provide that support. Because if I were you, I would just turn to the Adeleke and say, I've committed a sin. As my father, help me out. Bail me out. Take care of this child.
You've already been doing it already. So.
Because that's what he has been doing.
Yes.
So it's just for him to continue. So even if you don't want to take care of that child, there will be a closure for everybody. Everybody will be happy.
And we can move on
to some other things and not this back and forth that gives us impression. Some people are after certain things that we can't even establish. Because it is only when you come out to say, this is what I want. Apart from saying you want to force a child that they say DNA has said is not their child. And the man provided all the evidence. 3,000 people on scholarship at the time. That's huge. That's massive.
A lot. That's massive, babe.
That's massive.
It's massive.
And you have a program in your university where people work and earn money, and you provide everything, feeding, all of it, school fees, maintenance. You provide for. You do it, and you have been providing for this child since about when she was a year or two. So these people should be able to think deeply and know that the issue is not about money. It's about the fact that the man is saying, I don't want to accept a child that is not mine into my family. Some people will call certain children bastard. There is no bastard children anyway.
Really not.
Because there is a mother and there is a father. So.
And that's where we rest today, because this is really a lot. But just like, we have said, we hope that there's closure, and on time too, because this is dragging for too long. And as much as all the people involved, think that they are doing this for the child, at the end of the day, it's the child that is suffering most in this. So please, let's all behave like adults and wrap this up on time. And so that the girl herself can have closure. She can know, okay, this is my father, this is not my father, because this is really not palatable. And of course, that we'll bring you the updates, because it has not ended. There's still more to come, and we'll definitely let you know when that happens.
Sure.
So click that notification button so you know when we are online again with the updates, and follow us on all our social media handles at The Eagle Online. And don't forget to subscribe.
Very important.
Very important. And like and share this video, and we'll see you soon with more updates. Bye for now.
My name is Davido Adeleke. You are all welcome to our home. I'm the father of I have 5 children, 3 boys and 2 girls. Davido Adeleke, that you all know as Davido, is the baby of my family, is the last born. And I'm calling this press conference. This is my ever first time of addressing the press. And for just one single reason. I'm not on the social media, but I'm sure those of you in the social media will have been inundated with all kinds of talks about. Almost every year, this thing, keeps coming up regarding one little girl called Anulupo that lives in Ibadan. That Kemi has continually alleged that Kemi Olu lawyer has continually alleged that David is the father of the little girl. to start with, let me put it on record that I have 14 grandchildren. And I'll tell you the story about Anulupo and what has happened since I received a letter in 2014 from a lawyer in Ibadan alleging that my son David got somebody pregnant and abandoned the person with the child. And I'll tell you what the actions that I took immediately and what. But the reason why I call this conference, press conference, is for us to address. I'm not even sure if it's legal for someone to impersonate a minor. This Kemi Olu lawyer has been after my son David for many years. Everything she says about David is always negative and negative, trying to put him in bad light, with the public. This that I'm about to read to you is what I received from the sister to Anu's mom that lives in Abuja. I'm not going to mention her name, but she's in communication with me. When this happened, she was the first, because I'm not in the social media. She saw the thing that was supposedly written by her niece, and then she sent this to me. Say, "Good afternoon, sir. So I hope your day is going well. I just saw this on a blog post. I just wanted to clarify that the account is not run by me, Ayo, or my mom. The account is run by Kemi Olu lawyer, whom we have cut ties with years ago. I really do not know why she keeps posting these things, knowing fully well that we are no longer in communication. We have reached out to her several times to stop posting anything about Anu. I'm sorry if this embarrasses your family in any way." And immediately I saw this, I called David. I said, "David, have you seen anything in the social media?" He said a lot of things, that this woman has started again. And I've always told David to ignore this woman, because someone that her own son, her own biological son, has come out to the general public to say that it disowns her, she's no more her mom, she's crazy, she's that. So if her own son can say that about her, why should we bother about what she says about David? That was why I've always told him, just ignore her, and move on with your life. So when I received this, and on YouTube, I've seen all kinds of things people have been saying, and I just said, look, maybe this might be a good time for me, as head of my family, to say our own side of this story. Like I said, I have 14 grandchildren. So what will one more do? Is it that I will not be able to afford to do things for her, or bring her into my family? But there's science. DNA. If you say you are my granddaughter, and the science has proven that you are my granddaughter, I will gladly accept her. So let me tell you the story of how I got to know about Anu. I received him. This is the document. I received this in the mail. Through DHL to my office. This is the DHL sent to me by Bandele A. Aiku and Co. from Ibadan in 2014 by DHL. And in the package, there are pictures of a little girl and pictures of David. they put David picture, with the little girl. This was maybe they took, I don't know where they cropped David's picture and put it. And this, the mother of the girl. So I received this in the mail 2014. And in that mail also, curiously, there was the birth certificate of the child. And what caught my attention was that in the record of the birth certificate, they said full name of father, Adeleke, David. Full name of mother, Adeleke, Ayotomide. How can she be Adeleke? So that caught my attention. And then also in that DHL package was this letter from the grandmother of Anu, with her telephone number. I'm going to still show everybody up close so you can see everything. And he wrote, "Dear sir, I know you and your family are in good health and your work is thriving well because the Lord has been good to you, so I do not expect otherwise. Sir, I'm a widow with 2 daughters. I lost my husband 13 years ago and have single-handedly raised both of them with the help of God, but still having been, but it has been very challenging. Early last year, my eldest daughter, Ayotomide, informed me that your son, Davido Adeleke, was responsible for her pregnancy. Their meeting occurred when your son came to Ibadan for a show. I sat with her as a mother to ask her about the father of the child, and she has confided in me so many times that your son is indeed the father of her child. She put to bed on November 19, 2013, and gave birth to a baby girl. So I'm not trying in any way to extort you, but to ask that your son steps up for paternity tests to confirm and take full responsibility of his daughter. I'm also not asking your son to marry her at all. Contained in this envelope are pictures of the baby and my daughter. Sir, I know you are a God-fearing man, and I plead with you for the sake of the pain that a widow goes through to raise our children, that you give me a quick and favorable response. Thank you and God bless you. Immediately I saw this letter, even before calling David, before telling David, about this letter, I called this woman and I said, look, I've not spoken to my son yet, but I'm going to speak to him. But I'll suggest to you to give me your address in Ibadan. I'll send my driver to come and know where you live. But I can assure you that if this girl is my granddaughter, you have no problems with me. I will welcome her into my family happily. She was happy. She gave me her address. I gave the address to my driver. My driver went to Ibadan the next day to know exactly where they live. And I told her that, look, the hospital that I use in Lekki here is an Indian hospital, Vedic hospital. That's where I do my checkups and everything. And that I can ask the hospital to arrange for a DNA test. So when I went to the hospital, I went there myself. The hospital told me that they don't actually do the DNA test in-house, but there's a clinic that they partner with that they will invite to take samples of both the child and the father. But these samples will be sent to South Africa for analysis. A laboratory in South Africa, because it's not done in Nigeria. I don't think they have a lab in Nigeria that can do the DNA analysis. And I said, okay. And I called her, gave her the information that anytime they are ready, I'll send my driver to pick you up from Ibadan. So on the appointed day, I sent my driver to Ibadan very early. And my driver brought the mother of the child, the grandmother, and the baby. The three of them came. And because my driver knows Adeleke Hospital, they came in. They were already there before I came in with. I asked David to come here and Lati, his aide. So David, myself, and Lati went and we met them at Adeleke Hospital. We went upstairs and the Indian doctor said, he will allow only David, myself, the grandma, the mother of the baby, and the child. Lati can wait. So we're all in the same room. And he told us the procedure. It was not, I've read in the social media that they were drawing blood. It was not done by blood. It was from their saliva in their mouth. So they brought the thing and swapped David's and put it in the container and sealed it. Swapped the baby's own and sealed it. And they told us that these samples will be sent to South Africa for analysis. And then when it's ready, myself and the mom and the grandmother grandmother of the baby, signed that both of us would be the ones to receive the result. So when the result was ready, I called her. They said, Madam, they said the result is out. I'll send my driver to pick you up so that both of us, because they will not give it to one person. We've already signed that both of us will see the result. So we went and they opened the result before both of us. And, I'll read to you what, and I'm still going to show it to you. I'll show you all the other ones that we did also, but I can only show it to you, but I will not allow you to copy it because of one reason. Number one, it's very dangerous for someone's DNA profile to be in the public. Dangerous for David for one reason. Somebody can use it to frame him. If somebody commits a crime tomorrow and they say, they've taken sample of saliva or blood or whatever, or sperm or what, in case of rape, and the police comes out to say this is the DNA profile of the person will go to jail. So I cannot share. I'll let you see it, but I will not allow you to copy his DNA. The portion that shows the result without the DNA profile, I'll show you can copy that. And at the same time also, I cannot legally share with you the DNA profile of that innocent little girl, Anu, because she's a minor and I don't have the permission of her parents to share her DNA. So we have to be very careful. But anyway, I'll show you the result for you to just see. And so they opened this was the first DNA. This is the original copy that I was giving one, and the grandma was giving another one. And at the end of the whole story, they wrote here that probability of paternity 0.00%. And the mom asked the lab guy that, what does this mean? He said, it means that David is not the father of this child. And she was really disappointed. She broke down. She was crying, the grandmother. And then, okay, I skipped a point. When we first got to Adeleke Hospital with David, and David saw the girl, David said, Daddy, I've never seen this girl before. And what I told David, I said, look, I don't want to listen to you. Whether you've seen her before or not, all I want is this DNA test. I don't want to know the story. I don't know what happened. I don't want to know. As if this girl is our child, I'm taking her. That was settled. And David was, asked the girl, have you seen it? I said, stop, don't talk to her. So that would be, it's like you're harassing her. Don't. So the girl was very quiet. Girl, she didn't say anything. She kept quiet. So we went. So the mom was disappointed, was crying that the result was not what she expected. And I told her, I said, look, people can make mistakes. Maybe they made a mistake in the lab. Maybe there's something. What I would suggest to you is let us do 2 more tests. I'll advise that you please stay in Lagos for 1 week. I'll pay for your hotel. Since the baby is here, the mom is here, the 3 of you should stay. Find 2 more reputable places. I don't know where else. This is the only place I come that can do this DNA test in Nigeria. So that I can go there and do it before. So I give some money to my driver. Go and get the hotel. Make sure they are comfortable. Give them some money to keep. And if you want a driver to drive around, fine.